I have some massive breaking news according to my DC insider over the Mark Waid total meltdown over the election yesterday. Now, this is a post from prior to the election. Everybody's really hype about Mark Waid doing his Justice League Unlimited. Mark Waid has done Justice League before with his Tower of Babel storyline, which was very critically acclaimed, and I enjoyed it back in the day. It's kind of before the guy lost his mind, though. And in recent years, his stuff's been all right, but it's been nothing really to write home over. Absolute Power, his event that he did through DC Universe, was already just kind of a dud. People didn't enjoy it that much. It just didn't feel right. And it's all because the guy's, kind of lost his fastball over the years. And on top of it, he's just so out of his mind. I just feel like he just can't tell a good story with superheroes anymore. And he feels like that too. It's mainly because these people really don't believe in heroism. And if you look at Mark Waid's, what he's popular for, which is Kingdom Come, and, then when he kind of aped Kingdom Come for his own thing with Irredeemable, it was all about superheroes not being superheroes. They were actually all evil. And so you can tell that Mark Waid just has a problem with morality in general, and that's an issue when you're coming to writing superheroes, which is why we're here. If you look at the entire industry over the last several years, these people do not know how to write heroes. They don't understand heroes. They don't even believe in heroes. They don't believe in America. They don't believe in truth, justice, and the American way. And they don't believe, of course, in God and redemption or anything like that. And it adds to a big problem. Because you need that. A superhero is, in essence, a saint, right? And so since you have saints doing things, they need to be good persons, right? It's pretty simple as a writer, and they just don't understand it. Now, I covered what happened with Mark Waid yesterday. He just went on a total tirade meltdown. We will go over it again just in case you missed it. But my updates from inside DC, my insiders are telling me this is really, really bad for the writer. We exposed him to such a level. This story wasn't supposed to get out like this. And it went mega viral. So we did the work on the journalism front, guys, and it is having repercussions throughout the industry. It's shaking them. All right, hit the like and subscribe button. My name's John Delarose, the most trusted name in comics news. And on top of that, one of the most trusted names in indie comics crowdfunding. This is my 13th graphic novel, The Emerald Array. And I understand heroism. I understand what makes a character great. And so I built a Space Marine team of all males, of course, no women. And they're all patriots. They are all just totally for humanity. They're about human exceptionalism and about fighting giant demonic space bugs. Pretty good stuff. This is what the comic industry used to be, and this is exactly the type of story I tried to create here. You're going to love these characters and love this storyline. If you like classic DC comics, if you like Warhammer 40K, Star Wars, this is a science fiction universe worth getting on, and it does dovetail out of my Ayla Rin books. If you guys have read those, you'll absolutely enjoy this too. If you haven't, this is a great spot to get in. You can get all of the books here. So check this out. It's in the description below. We're almost at 250 backers. Thank you guys so much for supporting us on the free speech platform Fund My Comic. It is in the description below, as I said. Just crushing it. We're having a lot of fun while these guys are melting down. And yes, the best is yet to come. So Mark Waid yesterday, as I mentioned, said he didn't believe in the basic goodness of my fellow Americans and that he cannot write superheroes. I went over his whole meltdown where he attacked Mark Miller earlier this year. He actually said a lot of us would rather see this industry burn down than get together with the alt-right. So you can see that he hates conservatives, he hates Christians so much that he'd burn the industry down just to make sure he didn't have to share the space. It's really sad. This is hateful bigotry right here. This is something that, like, if it was said in reverse, would get somebody blacklisted from DC Comics, but because he's a liberal, he was able to just get away with this, and nobody called him on it except for us. This is it. This is the only place you can get the comic news where we actually tell you what these people are doing. And so DC Comics, of course, rewarded him by giving him all these books, giving him Batman and Robin Year One, giving him the big event this summer, and of course Justice League Unlimited, which is coming out. This is a huge deal with the DC All In. And Justice League Unlimited is really where they wanted to center everything. They wanted to build the Justice League into an Avengers-like entity where it feels like those Marvel movies. It is the center of the universe. As you can see, it's the nexus of the DC universe. Everything else happening revolves around the events in JLU. They are putting their full stock into this book, hoping Mark Waid will build the DC universe for them. And, if this was 20 years ago, this might have been a great idea. Mark Waid hadn't lost his mind at that point. He hadn't attacked customers. He hadn't attacked other people in the comic book industry. It's really, really sad. But the guy has a hot streak. He always has. He's had a reputation of that. There's that talk in the industry. Everybody talks about it back at Cross-Gen Comics where he put his fist through a wall. The bits with Devin Grayson, where she was his girlfriend for a bit, was really dicey back then as well, from everything that we heard. And I've actually seen DMs from him with different comic creator pros where he's admitted he's got mental illness. It's really sad, actually, because I like a lot of Mark Waid's old work. And we've tried very much to just be friendly with Mark Waid, get him to come on and talk. Because, look, if Mark Waid came on and we chatted comics and we did things, I figured we could heal the comic industry, right? Build everything better, make everybody have some fun here like comics are supposed to be. But he can't. He's that angry. He's that deranged. He really hates a lot of his customer base. And this is a lot of the attitude which has hurt DC Comics, which has hurt the comic industry as a whole, because they've pushed these extreme left agendas through everything, and because of that, they've really just destroyed their sales. So you can see they've got an interview with Mark Waid here. Does it feel like the next level? It feels like a level up because it gives Dan Mora, an entirely new roster of characters to play with. Not really, because you were playing with Dan Mora on Absolute Power. It's the same characters. We enjoyed working on World's Finest, but this opens him up to everything going on in the DC universe. He's really up to the challenge. So and so he talks about things and talking about the roster and superheroes. It's bigger than ever before. It's better than ever before. Justice League's really it. But his comment here, they said yesterday, he said he doesn't believe in the basic goodness of fellow Americans anymore. Without this, I cannot write superheroes. There's no point. When you see a decline in the quality of my work soon, you'll be able to trace it back to this night. So right upon the launch of his Justice League, right upon the launch of what DC is doing, he says that his work's going to decline in quality, right? And so this is where it's at right now. And so what my DC insiders say about this is that it shook editorial. Especially when this went viral yesterday from our channel, they went crazy on this. And they're really upset with Mark Waid right now. So what I've heard is there's a lot of people at the DC company, especially in corporate, that are not happy with Mark Waid and his comment yesterday. The general feeling is that the creative teams and editorial that he's a part of aren't happy with him in general too. Even his collaborators, the editors and all that, they're not liking that he's going out saying he can't write superhero books anymore right before the big launch. If you look at it, Scott Snyder and company have done everything they can to try to make DC positive, try to make it seem like this relaunch and Absolute Universe is something completely new, even though it's another relaunch like they've done like with New 52 and with a bunch of Elseworld stuff, the All-Star line. This is all stuff they've done before, right? But they're pretending this time it's real and we're committed to it, and trying to build that, and they're referring to it as the New 52, but done right in their internal circles. So as Mark Waid is going against that messaging, saying his book's going to suck, right? His quality of work's going to drop. Like he knows it. He knows his book's not going to be good at this juncture. That really just flies in the face of like we're all in, that we're making this better than ever, that we're building the DC universe you've always wanted. It kills that marketing push that Scott Snyder did. Mark Waid's a big enough of a name that does hit and hurt them quite a bit. So the problem with this is because they've built this up, they were actually planning this for years. It's years in the making, and putting Mark Waid on Justice League is years in building, and that's a lot of work for it to come crumbling down because he's going to say that he doesn't have the chops to do this because he literally can't even because Trump exists, right? Absolutely crazy stuff. And this is just bigotry and hatefulness. He needs to get over his hate. Like I said in my video yesterday, that's the whole deal, Mark. Like, you got to stop this kind of thing. You've been hateful for years, ever since Richard C. Meyer, Diversity in Comics, came on the scene, and you tried to call people to not publish him. I mean, like, why would you do that? Like, just write your books, write good books, and compete. Like, is it that hard to compete with people who do know how to write superheroes? Is that the thing? Not that Richard C. Meyer can, but I mean, that seems to be the worry that he has, that somebody with real morals might actually outcompete him and do better than him. So, for what I'm hearing is that DC's now really looking at the sales of Justice League Unlimited closely. If this is not a tremendous success, if it is lackluster, if it underperforms, this might be the end of Mark Waid. And they find him a liability at this point, because when he's going out there saying his books are going to suck in advance, that's just a killer for marketing, and it really is. Like, why would somebody go in and buy his superhero books at this point? Like, I won't. Absolutely crazy. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this, my friends. This is big news from inside DC. Hit the like and subscribe button, and please do check out a great alternative. Mark Waid is definitely afraid of our books here. We're better than anything he's been doing in years, and I appreciate you guys for coming in and supporting Real Comic Books. It's in the description below. Thank you so much. We'll be back soon.